What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in. Welcome in to the CHGO Bulls Podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download their app. Be sure to use promo code CHGO.
Yes.
When you sign up.
Yes.
I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck.
That's him.
You can follow this clown right here at BAWO Sports. That's Big Dave Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Will the Go Gottlieb is Will_Gottlieb on the Twitter machine. Our pal and producer Joey Spath is at Joey Spathis. Getting some flack and some love from CHGO Bulls Nation yesterday.
Joey not ready.
Joey not ready. That's the newest nickname from our guy Troy in Australia.
That's fine. Self-proclaimed Joey Army, not rocking with that.
To his credit, though, like 30 seconds before he hit the go button on today's show,
Yes.
he was like, "Oh shit, Matt, do we have a commentary today?" I was like, "Yes, we do.
He will be
Yes,
ready.
we do.
He will be prepared, sir. But he held himself accountable, which is what I always appreciate.
Yep.
True story.
Throw me that ball in the corner, I'm putting it up.
Ever? That's the best energy you've seen from me ever?
When you say vids, you got to be around more often, man.
baby.
That's
I got
nothing.
Plenty mode, man.
Yeah, whether it's
Tons of
positive
it.
or negative, I have seen much bigger energy from Dave.
That's fair.
Many
That's fair.
times.
That is very fair.
Which game was it where we started and the chair was like tipped over?
That was the 150.
My guess is it was the 150
That was the
night.
150. Yeah.
They gave
Jones
up
was it.
150 to Minnesota.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I wasn't here for that one. I wasn't there for that game.
episodes have we done?
Of the
I have
show?
zero clue.
Well,
a lot.
The show.
82.
A lot of
82.
episodes.
A
So
lot.
it's the off season. 5 of them a week. You know, we'll do the math on that later.
It's roughly 5 shows a week for about
13 months.
yeah, no,
So
yeah.
I think we've done over 150.
My guess would be yeah.
I would bet so.
All right, we're going to be doing more player evaluations today with our guy DeMar DeRozan. Evaluate his season, look ahead to his off season, what the Bulls might be able to get if they decide to shop him, or at least what kind of offers they might see, or if they decide to keep him around for the final year of his contract. Before that, though, let's talk a little bit about NBA playoff action from last night. Also, the biggest award was handed out last night to one Joel Embiid. We'll touch on that, too. Hit that thumbs up button if you're watching along with us on the YouTubes. Gentlemen, Knicks level up their series with the Heat.
Knicks.
Getting a split in Game 2 at the Garden. It was a tight game back and forth. You know, we talked a little bit about how this series would look when we first previewed it. Just a tooth and nail battle. And Knicks come out on top in this one, getting 30 from Jalen Brunson, including just a cold-blooded dagger of a three late.
Yeah.
25 from Randall, who did not play in Game 1, 24 from Barrett. So basically their big three carried them while the Heat rested Jimmy Butler, who had that sprained ankle, rolled ankle, whatever from Game 1. All they could really muster was 22 points from Caleb Martin, 21 from Gabe Vincent, which, if you listen to me, my pick of the week yesterday, you're welcome.
He said it.
This is kind of what I expected to see from Game 2 of this one. Randall comes back and plays. Knicks get a win in Game 2 that they need to now head to Miami with the series tied 1-1.
Yeah, 2 things for me. One, I feel this is more about the Heat than it is the Knicks, because the Heat could have won that game. Honestly, they took it all the way down to about the final maybe 5-4 minutes, and even then, when they got it to 3 with a few seconds, and they had to hit the free throws to seal it, they had a shot to get everything.
Heat led from basically second quarter through halfway through the fourth.
Yeah, they did a wonderful, masterful job. Again, Eric Spoelstra doing Eric Spoelstra stuff. It's what Will said when the series started, that he loves Tibbs, but Spoelstra's a better coach. This is just what it is. And you saw that on full display yesterday. I thought it was a brilliant coaching job. And Jimmy Butler also, always seizing the moment. He just like LeBron. He understands the moment and the narrative. Standing there clapping, giving the golf clap, shaking his head, waving at the fans. He understood where the cameras were. He understood it, and I appreciated that about him from that, man. So I thought that was great. The other thing that I thought, and that 3 was cold-blooded, but for me, this was about Isaiah Hartenstein and his sequence in the fourth quarter when he had 4 straight offensive rebounds, and then the tip out for that three that finally broke the tie. Because they took, I think, 3 threes, and he got offensive rebounds on all of them, and a couple of them he got fouled on. And then the final one, he tipped it out, and Josh Hart hit that 3 in the corner, and that was pretty much the game right there. It was about him on that one. And then the next possession down, he gets a charge. Like, it was him on that one, man. Like, he did a really excellent job on that. And this is why you love the playoffs, because it's always those little tiny things that I'm looking for that I like. You know, the stars are going to be stars. We get that. But it's that game within the game stuff that I really enjoy. And I thought Hartenstein did a great job of that.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he was, like, far and away my number 1 free agent target last year, was because I felt like he could impact the game defensively in terms of blocking shots, offensive rebounding, being in place. He's a good facilitator, only had 1 assist in that game, but I thought he was really solid, and their, front court pairing, their center 1-2 punch with Mitchell Robinson's really strong. But Matt, you said this is kind of how you expected it. I didn't. I thought the Heat were gonna just kind of roll over.
Just kind of sit out game 2.
To even be in this game for as long as they were. The wheels kind of fell off there late, but man, this Heat team just gets so much out of so little. They have Hero and Jimmy Butler are gone, and they're right in this game all the way through with Gabe Vincent and Cody Martin.
Right.
I mean, they're shooting a million.
I was going to say they are shooting a lot of threes and at a much more efficient clip than they did in the regular season.
Sweet.
And that's kind of what the Bulls did last year in the playoffs. It's what you need to do when you're at such a talent deficit.
Yeah.
The great equalizer, right? You need to shoot a ton of threes. You've got guys that can get hot. Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent, Strus, even Kevin Love and Cody Martin and Kyle Lowry. Those guys can hit threes. Yeah. Not all of them did, but if you're going to try to compete with a team that's just clearly more talented and more deep, that's how you do it.
Yeah, the only 2 players who didn't take threes were Bam Adebayo and Cody Zeller. That was it. Everybody else taking shots, bro. So your centers are the only ones that didn't take threes. Damn.
My other favorite part of that Knicks Heat game 2 was when Brunson hit that huge 3. The camera cut to Melo, courtside.
Okay.
Losing his mind.
Thanks for saying this.
Which,
thanks for saying this.
As much as a kid of the 90s, I hated the Knicks, and I still, like you said yesterday, Dave, I'm not rooting for the Knicks. I'm certainly also not rooting for the Heat.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for freaking Al-Qaeda in this matchup. But, I was never threatened by, afraid of the Carmelo Anthony Knicks.
Yeah,
and Carmelo's always been sort of like an endearing player as far as that era of the NBA, and now he's been out of the league for a while. It was just cool to see him going nuts along with the Garden crowd.
Yeah, but he's not the reason I want to say this, because did you see who was in front of Carmelo Anthony cheering him on? John Starks. As soon as I saw his face, I threw something at the television immediately, and I said, oh, yeah, this is why I hate this team. I don't want to see any joy on his face. Watching him be happy made me upset.
Yeah.
I hated every second
I did not notice that.
Oh, I saw it. He had his hat on.
Okay.
Yeah. Shut up.
Did this dude just did this?
I hated it. I
Greatest
hate this
sentence
series.
uttered in the history of any and all NBA documentaries.
I hate this series. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Oh. But yes, I hate it. It bothered me. I don't like them. No. Shout out Patrick Ewing. I like Patrick Ewing.
Pat's fine. John Starks, no.
John Starks, no. He can go to hell. Still can't believe the Bulls signed him.
Viciously dunked on by Scottie Pippen. You're cool with somebody.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
That's fair. That's Scottie dunk on you. Oh, okay, all right. Come on in. You're all right.
Yes, Spooky Kitty. Thank you.
Did this dude just do this? Yes.
One of my favorite things that's ever been said in an NBA documentary is John Starks talking about Reggie Miller's late game heroics.
Dude, I'm Spooky Kitty is going off in the comments today.
Spooky Kitty, welcome back. I feel like it's been a minute.
Just realized you shaved your stash, which I appreciate.
Para, what's up with you? Jelly, you always in the house.
He said Harry Snotter.
Well done.
All right, shifted to, what up, Salim? Shifting to Lakers Warriors. Speaking of my DraftKings pick of the week.
Talk your shit, Matt.
What did I say? So what do we say? I said take Lakers plus 4.5, and if you're feeling frisky and want higher odds, take the Lakers money line. They needed this game more than the Warriors did. The Warriors have been bad this season, playing on less rest than their opponents.
He's right. He's absolutely right. He said it dead on. Even though the numbers did not back up his assertion, it was still on point, and it was correct.
Lakers win.
Matt Peck.
Cash in your pocket. You're welcome.
You're welcome. He's so kind.
We have to talk about Anthony Davis for at least a minute.
Monster.
30 points, 23 boards, chipped in 5 assists on top of that. When it's crazy because I feel like we talked about this a little bit with Kawhi when he played in the first couple games of that first round series.
Yeah.
And then sadly he was lost. Anthony Davis belongs in that list of players with Kawhi, I think, that when they are out there playing at 100% of their ability, easy top 5 player in the league.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
But it's just because Anthony Davis is so sporadic between hurt and healthy and going through the motions Anthony Davis and locked in bubble champion Anthony Davis, and often what we've seen in these playoffs thus far, that version of Anthony Davis, which, oh my God.
It's a monstrosity. And, I mean, that's also shout out to my man Luné. He had 10 points and 23 rebounds himself. But you can't match that. You can't match that 30. And that's the issue with that. Anthony Davis, and it's funny when you brought up Kawhi, because when I think of both of them, I always find Anthony Davis is more upsetting than I do Kawhi, because I feel like I've seen Kawhi have those moments of legendary greatness more sustained than I've seen it from Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
And Anthony, like you said, was in the bubble.
He had that one big shot in the conference final, right? Correct. Of the bubble.
Huge. And I mean, he was dominant in there. This dude, like you said, man, when he's on, top 5, without question. I can't tell you the amount of arguments I've gotten in telling people he's the best Laker on the team. That's him. It's him. Oh, it's LeBron. No, it's not. It's Anthony Davis. When he's Anthony Davis, it's top 5 easy, all right? And that's just what it is. And you saw it yesterday. LeBron chipping in, though, with 22 and 11 in 40 minutes, which was awesome. Also, the Lakers look like the more rested team as well. You could tell. And none of the big stars for the Warriors played 40 minutes. Clay and Steph played 37. I believe Draymond played 33. Those guys weren't out there because they just played a game 7 when they were running up and down the damn floor. So I expected them to come out, a little more stagnant and playing chess, because this is a chess match. I don't think they'll be at that full capacity till about game 3. Yeah. Maybe game 3 or 4 when some rest comes in between those games. I'm not saying they won't win game 2 or anything like that. I'm just saying you won't feel the full brunt of the Warriors until they get that rest coming in games 3 or 4. But I don't want to take it away from the Lakers, bro. Anthony Davis, like you said, was unbelievable, man. And shout out to him. When he's special, he's really special.
So I have a lot of thoughts about this game, and I think the first one is we've talked a lot about math over the last 365 days. Okay?
3-point math?
3-point math, free throw math. This was far and away the weirdest math game that I can ever remember watching.
Weird, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just read some of these numbers. 53 3-point attempts out of 106 field goal attempts. Half of their shots were threes. Dang. That is insane for the Warriors. Okay, they made 21 of them.
Made 21.
When you make 20 plus threes, I mean, that's like the gold standard number that the Daryl Morey Rockets would shoot for. When they felt like if we hit 23s, that's a win. If we can get 4 games out of 7 with 23s, there's nobody we can't beat.
Yeah.
That's just to say how crazy of a number 21 made threes was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of 53 attempts. I don't know what the numbers are in terms of how that stacks up in history, but that is a gigantic number for a playoff game. On the other side of this, you have 6 of 25. A very Bullsian 6 of 25 for the Lakers from
behind the 3-point line.
So the Warriors had 15 more made threes, 45 more points.
Outscored them by 45.
That's insane.
Behind the 3-point line.
On the other hand, you have the free throw
Now do the free throws, Will.
Oh, I'm getting there. On the other hand, you have free throws. Lakers, 29 attempts. Warriors, 6.
Wow.
When I went back and checked that, I was like, 29 free throws?
The Lakers had 20 more points on free throws than the Warriors did. And this is what I talked about yesterday. You mentioned Anthony Davis, who was sensational.
He was.
The Warriors weren't even looking at the rim. They were shooting threes like crazy. They were doing their dribble handoff game. They were getting into space. They were doing all this stuff. But what makes Steph so dangerous, and Jordan Poole and Clay, you can put all 3 of those guys in that bucket, is the pressure that they put on you because of the fear that you have to have of their 3-point shooting opens up driving lanes.
Correct.
It opens up cutting lanes, and it opens up the paint to where you've got layup after layup. You've got these split cut actions where you're just getting wide open shots at the rim. That did not exist in this game. Anthony Davis had 4 blocks, but the amount of shots that he deterred before they could even happen was like probably, 100 more. I mean, like the Warriors just simply were not looking at the rim. They were not driving. They were not going anywhere near there. And I think there are some adjustments that Steve Kerr can make in terms of bringing Anthony Davis out to guard in pick and roll, removing him from the rim. They're going to have to figure out Jared Vanderbilt in terms of the way that he was top blocking Steph and just like not letting him get the ball.
They did a great job at that.
I mean, man, it was a really good game plan from Darvin Ham.
Yeah.
Really well executed. And then you got guys like Dennis Schroeder and,
Russell.
D'Angelo Russell had a really good game.
He did.
Jared Vanderbilt defended excellently. They put together a really solid game plan. They executed to a T. I didn't even think LeBron looked very good.
No.
He scored well.
He finished 9 of 24. 1 of 8 from 3.
Correct.
22 points on 24 shots. Not very good. So just like the stark contrast in the style of play, you can look at paint points, 54 for the Lakers, 28 for the Warriors. I mean, just the clashing styles here was crazy. And I think that there's a lot that Steve Kerr can do to adjust. Don't think Steph played well. Didn't really do a good enough job getting him open. Obviously, you had a good game from Poole and Clay, which you can't always count on. But I don't come away from this feeling that bad if you're the Warriors. At halftime, they were up or it was close, and I felt like the Lakers are going to just come away with this in the second half because you can't expect the Warriors to keep shooting 50% on a million threes.
And then the Lakers almost coughed it up. The Lakers were up 14 with 5-ish minutes to go. And then the Warriors reeled off a 14-0 run to tie the game.
And that 3 that
gave
Steph
themselves
hit,
a chance.
The 3 Steph hit to tie it. Oh my God. Like,
there are some shots that he takes that it's just like,
it's not fair.
I literally laugh.
Yeah,
out
just
loud.
all you can do.
Steph insanity.
It's terrifying. Just real quickly, I think what you're saying also about Vanderbilt also plays into the rest factor. Because, like I said, he's running around the entire game trying to chase Steph.
It's hard.
By game 3 or 4, I want to see what he's looking like then after doing that for a whole series.
And I really want to see what it looks like when they pull Anthony Davis out of the lane.
Yeah.
They did a really good job. They made an adjustment late in the game where they brought Vanderbilt in to guard Steph, and they had Schroeder on Jordan Poole because they were running that Steph-Jordan Poole pick and roll a lot.
Right.
And so Schroeder would switch onto Steph, and he was giving Steph problems too. I think there's a lot Steve Kerr can do to tinker with that. He doesn't really like to go into these heavy isolation or pick and roll actions with Steph. They kind of like save that for, a rainy day type situation. But man, this series is going to be so much fun just because of like the different adjustments and the different style of play. Like I can't wait to see who gives first, because you're not going to get this kind of shooting performance from the Warriors every game. You're probably not going to get this kind of you're not going to let Anthony Davis affect you in this way 6 more times if you're the Warriors. So it's going to be a tremendous series.
Fun time
before we move to the MVP stuff real quick, I see our guy Salim talking about it in the comments. A lot of people were talking about it on NBA Twitter last night and into this morning. That last 3-point attempt with the Warriors down 3 that Jordan Poole took, that was a deep 3. There was, a bit of a trap that Steph dealt with before that, and then he swings it over to Jordan Poole. A lot of people were, crucifying Poole for taking that shot. And personally, I looked at that, and I was like, look, Jordan Poole has that kind of range. He can hit that shot. And before taking that shot on the night, Poole was 6 of 10 from downtown. He was cooking. Steph was doubled and trapped. He managed to get a clean pass to Jordan Poole, who had a clean look. And, some people, including our guy Salim, said, take a timeout if you're the Warriors there. Take a timeout, set something new up. That's a clean look. If you get a look that clean, as we laugh about them taking 53 threes and making 21 of them, one of your best 3-point shooters who was 6 of 10 last night, let it fly. I mean, do either of you have an issue with that?
I do.
Okay.
I don't think what you're saying is wrong. You're right. He was on fire, and even when you do the numbers all season long from where he shot from that range, he's about 50%, even from that range. So taking that. My issue was he took it with 10 seconds left. That was my only issue with it.
Okay.
And I know it was open. I get it. But I thought you had more time to get something a little bit better. I thought as soon as Steph got doubled, I thought a timeout should have come immediately. And when that didn't come and he gets the ball, I didn't like the way he took it because it looked like it was panic. Like he shot it like he thought he had 4 seconds instead of 10.
Sure.
And that's the only thing I didn't like about it. The hilarious thing about that was they were doing a simulcast with Taylor Rooks, Wilson Chandler, I believe.
Halliburton.
And Halliburton, yes. And
Channing Frye.
Channing Frye, thank you. I always get them mixed up. Their whole career, for real. I've been getting them mixed up all the time.
Channing.
But after that, you saw Taylor Rook and Channing Frye just, dude, that's a terrible shot. Halliburton's like, no, dude, like, look at it. That's a great shot. I'll open that. That's open. I'm taking that shot. He was like, I guarantee you, if you give me that, I'm taking that. Frye said, and that's why you're sitting next to us.
But what about the factor of we've got a 3-point lead and we're playing the Warriors and don't want them to have a chance? Like, maybe if he holds on to that ball, the Lakers foul and just say, all right, we're up 3, make 2 free throws, and we'll play the free throw game for the last 10 seconds of this game.
All that is factual. And honestly, that's why I think a timeout should have been called. Like, I thought it should have been called when they got the rebound. Understand that you're just going with the momentum. You got Steph. I get it. You know what I mean? But as soon as that double team came and then you saw them, just the chaos starting to ensue, I'm like, take the timeout immediately. Call timeout. Do it like that. But they didn't. He took the shot. It's 1-0.
I got serious flashbacks to the double bang in OKC.
Oh.
Because he was
bang.
LeBron misses a 3 that could have put him up 6 and iced the game.
Yeah.
Steph grabs the rebound, dribbles down the court. He's on the right side this time, not the left side. I really thought he was just going to pull.
Yeah.
Because I think there's merit to shooting early in that situation because maybe you get an offensive rebound, the defense is out of sorts. It's a tough call. I think when you got to that point of Steph there's a hard trap and double on Steph, and then that's where the swing happened and Jordan Poole had a look. I don't hate it. I definitely think a timeout would have been fine, but like if you're Jordan Poole in that moment, you're thinking shoot. You're not thinking catch the ball in timeout. You know what I mean? Like he is a gunner. He is 6 of 10. He kind of went off in the second quarter, not the third or the fourth, so it had been a little while, but like it was one of those games for him. I don't hate it. But it's a tough call. It's one of those things where if you make it, you look like a genius. If you miss it, people are questioning.
We have a discussion, right?
Yeah.
I really thought Steph was going to pull from 38 feet.
I would have loved it.
As soon as he
and
crossed
my
it.
God, dude, can you imagine how the roof would have blown off the place if he pulled and hit that? Holy shit!
I need more of those moments in my life.
From way downtown.
The Curry Breen bang is Will's lifeblood.
It is. He's got a tattoo on his ass.
All right, real quick, before all of the NBA playoff action last night, the first thing that happened is that Joel Embiid was officially named the 22-23 regular season most valuable player. Kudos to him.
Kudos, sir.
His
first
Embiid
Jordan.
got 73 of 100 total first place votes.
Damn.
915 total points as far as his first place votes all the way to fifth place votes. Nikola Jokic did finish in second place with 674. So Embiid won fairly convincingly. Won this award. I think a lot of people saw this coming as far as Jokic and the Nuggets sort of just kind of coasting into the finish line of their regular season, having the 1 seed locked up, and Embiid having a couple of big games down the stretch for Philly. I personally am just glad it's over because towards the end of this season, and no offense to our friends over there at DNVR Nuggets.
Okay. Oh, where we going?
But Nuggets fans and Sixers fans on Twitter since January have been insufferable with this bullshit.
Oh man, it's been longer than January.
It's been going on for years now, honestly. But it's boiled over to a point where I'm like, this isn't even fun to partake in this discourse anymore because all of y'all suck. No one's having any fun with this debate. Everybody's just hating on each other, calling each other's arguments stupid. I don't remember MVP debates and discourse being this annoying in years past. Maybe it's just because it was sort of like a repeat of recent seasons. Yeah. Is it Jokic? Is it Embiid? Is it Jan? I was fed up with it, and I'm just glad it's over.
Maybe, and you're right. And I shouldn't say you're right because I don't know it as deeply as you do right here. But I would say your sentiment is probably dead on because, you're Matt Peck and you're angered very easily on these things.
What are you talking about?
But to the point, Embiid, he deserved it. I like this because there's been so many years where I've seen the three same players deserve an MVP. Like Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. I had no problem with either one of them winning in all of these years. Well, I have more issue with Jokic last year, but it's not here nor there. His numbers say he should have won. He should have won. I like the fact that Embiid won this. He acted like it didn't matter to him during the regular season, and then as soon as his name is called, he's breaking down. Like you would when you win something like this, bro. Like it meant something to his whole team was there sitting there watching it. It means something to him. So I get it. This is the first center to lead the league in scoring in back-to-back seasons since Kareem, which was in 1970. All right? That's a long time, ladies and gentlemen. He did something really, truly special. And, I mean, he was dominant in it. And I think he won it in two things. One was when he went head-to-head with Jokic. And, I mean, he on national TV, and he destroyed him. I think he had 48 that game. He was a monster. The other one was when Jokic went on that kind of decline. And you kept mentioning it, Will, shooting over 50% and how that streak had kind of came to an end. Shout out to the Bulls. Had came to an end against the Bulls and then continued, I think, 2 more games after that. It kind of went down. I think when those things started happening, then you started seeing that kind of like, okay, it's going to be Embiid because he kept scoring and kept doing amazing.
It's funny
and
about
that did duck that last
though.
matchup with the Nuggets, though.
Say it again?
Embiid, he ducked that last Nuggets matchup towards the end of the regular season.
He said he ducked him. Damn.
It is funny, though, you mentioned that 4-game stretch. I feel like people count that against Jokic more than they would have counted something like that against Embiid because of how good and consistent Jokic and the Nuggets had been all year. They had a 4-game skid. Like, that's not that big a deal. That happens. Sure. But given the moment, given the fact that we are splitting hairs here, I get it. For me, I think they both deserved it. I have no problem with Embiid getting it. I have no problem with Jokic getting it. I might have even gone Giannis just to avoid this argument altogether. But I am glad both of them have MVPs now. And can I just say, for all the talk about threes and small ball and all this, this we are in a golden age of centers.
Yep.
In the NBA right now.
Talk it.
And it's pretty damn cool.
Those guys are
outrageously good.
So glad you're saying this. All this threes talk and your last MVPs for about the past 5-6 years have all been big men.
And all finished top 3 again this year. Embiid, Jokic, Giannis.
I did think the Embiid campaigning at some points this season was a little much, even though it didn't necessarily bother me a ton. But the Nuggets last night, again, all due respect to NBR, the Nuggets coming out and posting a video saying our MVP. That was weird to me.
I thought it was weak.
I just think that's a weird move, especially when you factor in that both of these guys are neither of these guys gives a they're in it for the real hardware still. They're still both in the playoff chase. The Nuggets are playing tonight. That was where it was getting a little bit weird to me where I'm like, okay, what do you care more about, the MVP or the championship that you were playing for?
And to me, that's something, if a Nuggets fan account posted that, I would be like,
exactly.
Okay. So
I literally clicked on it because I was like, did they get their check?
And
I thought it wasn't the real account. It was a weird thing for them to post, I thought.
Nuggets official team account is currently unverified on Twitter. And so I thought maybe it was something else, but then I checked and I was like, oh no, this is the Nuggets account. It has 1.5 million followers or whatever.
It's such a weird place right now.
It was weird. Wow. I thought it was petty a little bit.
It was.
And that's coming from someone who loves being petty. Loves it.
Petty Peck. And you know what's funny?
Petty Peck.
I immediately thought of the season of Steph and Harden was when I was seeing these. You remember those years when they were just going back and forth? And I wouldn't have been bothered at all if the Rockets had did this, for James Harden, because Harden hadn't won one. I get it. You know what I mean? It makes sense. But for the guy who won back-to-back MVPs, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, what are you our MVP? I'm like, bro, he got 2 of them. What are we tripping on? Relax on that, man. Relax.
One of the things that I was talking to Jamal Collier about this.
That's a flex.
And he has a vote, or had a vote. and this was before he decided we're just kind of shooting the breeze about it, and he kind of said regardless of what the advanced numbers say or what the record is or whatever, we as voters have a responsibility to write the history of the NBA. And I do think that argument I think really spoke to me, because I do think at times neither of these guys really feel like they are the LeBron or Steph of the era.
Yeah.
They
Neither is the face of the league.
They're not even Derek
point.
when he won it, which 12 years ago today.
12 years ago today.
Yeah, shout out to DeRozan. Even when he won it, it felt like he had captured the narrative of the season. And I don't think you can write the history. Bill Simmons talks about this a lot. You can't write the history of the NBA without mentioning that era of the NBA with Derrick Rose versus the Heat and the Heatles and all of that. And it doesn't really feel like either of those guys have that, because their teams aren't clear. There's not a super team. There's not a clear,
correct
favorite.
And so, they're not even the ultimate final challengers of said super teams.
Right.
Embiid has never played in the finals.
Right.
Jokic has never played in the finals.
True. Yeah.
And so, for me, I've mentioned the Giannis thing. I feel like he is the defining player of, and I felt this way before they lost in the first round. Maybe that changed now. But, he's the defining player of this part of the 2020s, I think. He just won a championship. He's already a 2-time MVP. I think he has the best chance of all these guys to be the highest ranked player on the list when it's all said and done. And, I don't think you should avoid, in the same way you probably should have given MJ or LeBron more MVPs, because they are the best player every single year, and you can justify giving them. And so I kind of feel that way with Giannis, but I am glad now that both of those guys have MVPs, because really, to your point, Matt, this narrative, this discourse of who's the best center, who deserves it, that has become a narrative of this era of the NBA. And I do think both those guys deserve it. So I'm happy for Joel. I definitely think he deserved it. And like I said, it's crazy that we're in a golden age of NBA centers. That's
Real quick,
wild.
because I know we got to
take a break.
This is the last thing I want to say. Shout out to LeBron James, because this is the first year LeBron James has not, in his 20-year career, he has not been in the top 15 in NBA MVP voting.
First time he's not gotten any top 5 votes.
First time ever.
Including his rookie year.
He finished 9th his rookie year, dog. 9th.
Wild.
Insane.
Wild.
The man is great. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, we'll take our first break. We'll come back. We'll dive into our grades for DeMar DeRozan's 22-23 season. Today's episode of CHGO Bulls, by the way, hit that thumbs up if you haven't already, is brought to you by our friends at the Goose Island Beer Company.
Hey!
They make delicious beers.
I got
like
one.
this full pocket Pilsner that Dave and I are drinking right now.
Cheers to you.
Little Wednesday afternoon beerage.
Nothing wrong with it.
There's also the Goose IPA, another big popular one. The Tropical Beer Hug, one of many new beer hug flavors that Goose has put out this year. That one's the Dry Hopped Imperial with 9.9% alcohol. Dangerously easy to drink.
Went out this weekend, was drinking 3. Sorry to interrupt, but we're free reign on these ad rates here.
Always.
Are we?
Are you ready for comment yet?
I am.
Really?
I'm still getting
Yeah.
ready. But, I'm trying to warm up to that. Was out the other night, had 3 Goose Island beer hugs throughout the night, just, sipping on them. People are like, are you not going to have, a drink? I'm like, hey, these are 9%.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good here. Don't judge a book by its cover, all right? So, highly recommend.
Highly recommended. From Joey Not Ready. Grab an ultra fresh brewery exclusive beer at Goose Island's original brew house on Claiborne Avenue in Lincoln Park, or from their tap room right around the corner from us here in the West Loop on Fulton Street. Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer. We love and appreciate them so much.
We really do.
Delicious.
You know what? You see the ghost not sitting here right now. You know what I mean? And
Maybe because he went to the fridge to get a beer.
No, he didn't go to the fridge to get a beer. What he did was go see if he could replenish his stock of that AG1, baby. Oh, you want to know why the hair is so coiffed? You want to know why he was able to get up so swiftly and walk on over there? It's because he's taking that AG1 on a daily, y'all. Them 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, so probiotics, and oh, my sweet coiffness, the adaptogens. Oh, all of them help start your day correctly. That special blend of ingredients that support your gut health, your nervous system, immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and you're aging. All the things that you're going to want to take care of. And I know what you're saying. Oh, that sounds amazing. Look at the beautiful packaging that's on your screen. Damn, that must cost me a lot of money. Costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than that cold brewed habit that you might have. Oh, it's cheaper than all them supplements that you might be getting yourself. You're investing in that all-in-one nutritional insurance, y'all. Vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no natties chemicals, or artificial anything. And it does all this while still tasting good. Don't take my word for it. No. That man right there. I was just talking about him when he wasn't here. That man is the GOAT. Go tell everybody that you had your AG1 today, sir.
Tastes great.
You had your AG1?
I was pretending like that was it, but I did have it this morning.
Yes, we know. We have it in the morning. We know you're on double dip on that. You know what I mean?
It's
All you need is one.
That's it.
One serving.
It's a staple of the routine at this point.
That's it.
It's
what
happening.
It is. That's right. Quaffness. That's why.
Inevitable.
You want to know the secret to it? It's the AG1, y'all. So if you want to get easy for you to get it, make sure they will hook you up, y'all. They're going to give you a free 1-year supply of that immune supporting vitamin D and 5 of them free travel packs with your first purchase. All you got to do is visit athleticgreens.com/ CHGO Bulls. It's athleticgreens.com/ CHGO Bulls to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance, because it's Athletic Greens. You're going to scoop it, you're going to dump it, you're going to shake it, you're going to drink it, and then what you do, go.
You feel it.
You feel it. Woo! In your face.
You gonna ask me if I had my Athletic Greens this morning?
No, I'm proud of you because you've told me that you've had it every single day, so I don't have to come to you no more. But an interruption, Shirtless Wonder is outside. So.
Shirtless Wonder!
Shirtless Wonder is outside!
I think I got my swagger back.
Wearing, per usual, athletic shorts,
Yep.
zip-up gray hoodie.
Yep.
I couldn't tell.
He had to
Was
change.
it shirtless underneath the hoodie?
Yes, it was. It was shirtless underneath. Taco meat was out, and he had the gold chain blinging up off of that, man. The same outfit every damn time. It's the same one every time. Oh.
I mean, I respect that.
I do too.
As someone who wears the same 3 pairs of jeans,
Yeah.
the same 15 shirts, and
You see this hoodie?
same 20 hats. I mean,
That's what I do.
We got to invite him on here at some point.
dude.
Oh, he knows who
I wonder if he's a basketball fan.
He knows he's a star.
All right, guys.
I'll let him
Let's
next time we're doing this.
dive into our grades for DeMar DeRozan this season.
Give me 1 second. I'm changing Will's meathead grade.
You're changing his meathead grade.
Changing the meat.
Per Will, a last second
It's just-
meathead grade change?
it's-
A last second goat lead?
It's an adjustment. It's a tweak. It's
I
not
see.
really a change.
Is he removing what you had previously and then putting something new?
No,
That's a change.
It is an addition. It is an
Oh, an
amendment.
addition.
Yeah,
An amendment.
an amendment. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see.
The goat.
All right, starting with. Okay, that's the old.
Okie dokie.
That's the old meathead grade, not
All right.
not the currently updated one. Starting on the offensive end, Dave, you and I gave DeMar solid A's.
Yeah.
You gave him a B plus.
Explain yourself.
I looked at DeMar's season compared to last season's numbers.
Right.
His true shooting percentage was still elite.
Yes.
Actually went up 0.02 of a point from 0.590 to 0.592. Field goal percentage identical to last season.
Identical.
50.4
Yes.
from the field.
Yep.
The mid-range destroyer.
Monster.
However, his field goal attempts per game, his usage percentage, and his points per game all came down a bit from last season. I did not necessarily see any of those as bad things.
Neither.
As the Bulls are maybe shifting their focus of what comes after DeMar. And when Zach came back and really got rid of the rust and was balling out, and Zach ended up being this team's leading scorer over the span of the entire season, I had no problems with that.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe some Bulls fans saw DeMar's season as a whole and thought, something's missing. And as we said, to his credit, still finished as a finalist for the brand new Clutch Player of the Season award that De'Aaron Fox won. We didn't have as many of those moments. Not only the back-to-back buzzer beaters from last season, but like just those epic fourth quarters where DeMar would just take over a game that turned into a Bulls win.
Right.
because the Bulls lost a hell of a lot more of those games than they won this year compared to last year. Yeah. And I think that's maybe why some people just sort of measuring it as a whole thought, DeMar not as dominant this year. His numbers were pretty darn dominant still.
Yeah, and his percentage from 2-point was higher than it was last season. He was 50 last year. He was 52 this season. The 3-point percentage, like you said, went down to a normal, I thought. You know what I mean? It was 35. It was like, what?
Yeah.
It was like, went to 32.
Right.
Which is still like, what?
One or maybe two per, attempts per game.
That still finishes third in his career for highest 3-point percentage. Like right there. That finishes third right there. But yeah, like, it's still DeMar DeRozan. Like, like you see him out there and he's still doing DeMar DeRozan things. Oh yeah. And how about he's in the All Star game on top of that? Like, that's an A. So I'm very interested to hear why the GOAT toss that man a B+. I am interested, GOAT. Please scratch my itch of curiosity.
It's really nitpicking, but again, I'm looking at this through the lens of like
that, Joe?
What can we expect from DeMar? And maybe the expectations that he set last year were a little too high. I do feel like he came back down to earth a little bit. You guys mentioned like the stats aren't all that dramatically different, but usage went down by 4%. And I think that speaks to the fact that there was a bit of a passing of the torch to Zach LaVine. And I think that's, if he's not going to be like the A1 alpha creator driving force, that if you take a half step down from that is you're performing less, right? Like I think the fact, and maybe that was by design, maybe it was because of the injury. I just don't think that he was that same, like, just true alpha driving force in that same way that he was last year. Obviously, you've got the game winners. He was, I think, a little bit even better in the clutch in terms of points, a little bit lower in terms of percentage this year. Still incredibly good, incredibly talented, and incredibly important to what the Bulls do. But I think by taking a half step back, that's where I took a half step back.
But I think that's the difference, right? Because last year I had him at an A+. So I gave him his half step back. Like I took him down to an A. I can't.
Yeah, I don't remember what I gave him last year.
You know what I mean? But I can't do that and give you a full letter grade down to a B+. Like for me, I'm just talking about for me. Like I don't see that. I can't look at all of those things that you did, knowing how good this team is with you, seeing the numbers, seeing you were the leader in the mid range in the NBA. When you look at those kind of stats like that, seeing who led from where on the floor, you're going to see his name all over the place in the mid-range. Yeah, because that's what DeMar DeRozan did. And then being an all-star on top of that, being the team's only all-star on top of that for the second straight year for him, man. And last year, for me, that's another step down. When you're a starter, that's an A+. Step down, you're not a starter, that's an A. That's how I feel about it, man.
Yeah, some other numbers that I think
hit him, Will.
That affected my grading was last year the Bulls were plus 5.2 with him on the court versus with him off. This year only plus 1.8. Last year worth, according to Cleaning the Glass, 13 expected wins. This year only 5. Again, I mean this is super nitpicky, and I still think he is a star. I think he's deserving of his all-star. And like I said, maybe I shouldn't have been expecting him to continue on that level that he did last year, because that did seem like an outlier. So maybe an A- would have been more appropriate. But I do think that there was a half step back there. I think it was injury related. I think it was age related, and I think it was maybe a little bit by design. I mean, Billy Donovan talked about it at the beginning of the year and really throughout the whole season of we need to not be so dependent on DeMar. We cannot let him be option 1, 2, and 3 on our offense. And I think Zach stepped up and took over that role, where you have to credit Zach for that. And I don't even like to discredit DeMar for that design element of it, right? Like the Bulls are saying, we're going to take the ball out of your hands a little bit more. That's why your usage is down. That's why your scoring is down. But I do think that makes him maybe slightly less impactful. Very ever so slightly.
Very ever so slightly.
And I really don't want this to be like
Jake.
A Will dislikes DeMar, thinks DeMar is not good. Like,
I mean,
you're a hater,
Will.
Will.
That is what you said.
You're a hater.
That's what you said. That's what he told us.
I think a minor
You
half
walk right
step
into
back
that
is just how I viewed it.
That's fair. I think that's fair. People in the comments agreeing with a B+ for DeMar, saying that's fair.
You're wrong.
Also, Salim and Renewable and Rechargeable pointing out DeMar was dealing with a couple of injuries that hobbled him on the back end of the season.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, dog. Like, damn, if he's B+, man, like,
Dude,
good
right.
God. I'm just saying.
Dude, shot.
That's
But
a
again,
B+.
I mean, if you're
I
50%.
ain't even talking to you. I'm talking to them when I'm saying that.
I'm
but-
saying, like, if you're asking me, like, offensively relative to the rest of the league, A+. Offensively relative to what I expected
Expectations.
from him coming into the season,
Yeah.
a little bit below that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why
See,
he don't get a plus.
I expected a
That's why
bit
he
of
get an
a usage and elite clutch game-winning shot every night. I expected that to regress to the
Sure.
means.
And not 35% from three. Like,
I also think, like, if you are losing 6 wins this year by record, and you are the driving force of that, like, you are the reason for your team's success, good or bad, like, I think that factors in.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
But I think that makes it an A+ when you do that. If I'm factoring in what you did, if I'm factoring in what he did last year and asking you to do what you did again last year, that's an A+. For me, if it's a smidgen down from that, that's an A. It doesn't fall a full letter grade for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jamond in the comments saying he's due a contract after the upcoming season. Wonder how much he'll want. We'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, defensively, I just wanted to touch on a couple of things that I noticed from DeMar with the eye test, and then went back and looked at his numbers earlier today, and the eye test was confirmed. I gave him a flat C. I see you both gave him a C-. I think I gave him maybe a C- last year, or maybe a D+. I don't know. I gave him a little bit of an uptick defensively because his defensive rating improved from last season, as did his defensive box plus-minus. Of course, some of that you need to credit to his teammates, as the Bulls defensively were a really strong unit for a large stretch of this season. That's not necessarily on DeMar individually. However, I thought I saw DeMar take 1 million more charges successfully this year than he did last year.
True.
I went and checked. 32 offensive fouls drawn by DeMar this season. Last season, 12. His previous career high, 16. He doubled his previous career high in charges drawn, and I respect that.
Yeah.
83 steals for DeMar this season, 3 shy of his career high, 15 more than last season. In fewer minutes played this season compared to last season.
Shit, man. That's
For that, DeMar gets a C. from
okay.
me.
That's
we all
fair.
know about the DeMar defense stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I was looking for things that were positive, and I found some.
And for me, it was more for me. I just went on the eye test more than anything, and I know I gave him like a C- last year, and for me, I gave him a C or a C. I can't remember, but for me, I didn't see any huge difference of that. It still was, oh man, we're attacking you. It still was, you can't be one-on-one. It still was guys blowing by you. It still was looking, and I know he wasn't lost, but just looking like he was lost because he couldn't do certain things on defense, within the scheme that they wanted. It's still Billy Donovan having to kind of hide him, you know what I'm saying, on certain defensive schemes. And that's why he got the C- for me. What you're saying is damn sure on point and right. And also for me, it lets you know he's also getting older. When older people start taking more charges, that's exactly what that means. He's like, okay, I can't do this. Yeah, let me just stand here. let me let you get that. Yeah. And that's cool.
He wasn't chasing people around.
No, he was not. He was not. And honestly, for me, the C-, yeah, I could be talked into that C right there, but that's kind of where it is, though. The C- or the C is kind of where it is. There's no plus behind that one.
I think I agree with most of what you said.
I'll take that.
There are times where he can turn it on a little bit more. There are big games like that Bucks game early on in the year where they won back-to-back against the Bucks and the Celtics.
Yeah.
You felt like...
Raise the banner.
Man, what?
Raise our banner.
Raise our banner. I feel like there's moments where he can turn it on a little bit more, but he's just not a great defensive player. And I'm not saying he's like
fine.
the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
But he's not great. And I think for what he gives you offensively, that's probably okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
Okay, well, we got to take one more quick break. We'll come back with our meathead grades and then some thoughts on DeMar's off season. Big Dave.
Baby Joey again hit me up. You know what I mean? Because, we talk all the time.
Always hitting you
That's
up.
my guy. He was like, I asked him, man,
That's weird. Last time I checked, he couldn't speak, but
Well, that's because, he's talking to you. I'm me,
fair.
bro.
Sure.
I'm me.
All right.
We speak a different language. But he was a little concerned with you, man. He was concerned that you didn't have your ad reads ready when he on ComEd, because he was like, anytime he wants to do them, he's ready to go. And he wanted to come on the show. I was like, I don't think the world is ready to hear you speak, Baby Joey. You need to just go ahead and chill out. And he was like, don't tell me what to do, Big Dave. I was like, hey, man, you ain't got to raise up on me like that. You know what I mean? Baby Joey got anger problems sometimes, though.
Wow, already?
Yeah, already. But, when it makes him more angry, it's because he never understood. It's what he yells about consistently and all the time that he never understood, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Oh, Lord, why? Why does he have to pay so much dang on money to look so dang on cool? That's what Baby Joey was saying. You like that, Joey?
Yeah, he cries. He cries and cries at night, and it's like I just sit there and go, poor baby's just looking for an affordable pair of optical clarity.
That's it. That's it, Joey.
He's not hungry. He's not tired.
Nope.
He's
just
trying to
cool.
tell us about the deals at Shady Rays.
That's it, man. He don't want to pay all that money. You know what I'm saying? And he shouldn't have to, and he ain't going to have to, because he can rock with Shady Rays, y'all. That independent sunglasses company offers that world-class product that is just as good as any expensive pair that you ever put on your wonderful, sexy face. Those durable frames, those extremely clear optics, those premium polarized shades, and you can get it all at an affordable price and have them for your outdoor, and as this man proves every day, your indoor adventiones. That's not a word. So, also, the Matt Peck lost and broken replaces plan. Damn.
Drilled Kevin's office door on that one.
I've never seen him do that. That was damn. All right.
That had some velocity.
Have some stank. Throw it again, man. And this time put some stank on it. It was awesome, man.
That was a Bulls Bucks playoff series hat throw. I don't know what came over me just now.
Oh man, let's say those glasses. Let's say some glasses are on that hat and they broken in two. Guess what? You can send them back to Shady Rays. They'll send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. And also, if you don't like the frames that you got, if you get them within 30 days, y'all, you can send them right back, and they will exchange them for a even cooler pair that they got for free. They have got your back, y'all. So, exclusively for the listeners out there, Shady Rays is giving you their best deal of the season. Go to ShadyRays.com. Use the code CHGO and get yourself 50% off of 2+ pairs of polarized shades. Try it for yourself. Shades that's rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people, including young Maverick over here, because he's got his Shady Rays. Also, Summertime Will is a thing, y'all. Summer Goat is a thing.
That is factual.
Oh, it's a thing. I've seen it in action. It's pretty awesome. Shady Rays. Well, the Rays are, so shady.
Now, fellas, there's actually something that I want to take the time to talk about that is important to not me.
He's just winning.
It's not important to me.
Come on.
It's not important. It's not important to my nephew. It's not important to my nephew, but it's important to me.
Okay.
One day it will be important to him, I'm sure.
One day. He's just concerned about looking cool.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Once he's, providing family, bills to pay, he'll care. ComEd Energy Efficiency Program is committed to helping families and businesses in the communities that they serve, which is this community, helping manage energy usage and also lower energy bills now and into the future.
That's right, Joey Not Ready. ComEd offers a wide variety of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across their territory. ComEd also offers free facility assessments that can help find energy-saving opportunities, like for HVAC systems, all of your commercial kitchen equipment, and industrial processes.
Something like this that saves you money, saves your wallet, and also, saves this beautiful planet. Matt, please tell the people how it works, how they can, learn more about it.
I will, Joe. An authorized engineer works with you to develop a detailed assessment plan specific to your goals and needs. These can be done in person or virtually and last approximately 2 hours. Within 3 to 4 weeks, customers will receive a report detailing energy efficiency projects they can start working on right away. Each recommendation includes estimated energy savings as well as cost savings, them ducats, project costs, potential incentives, and simple payback plans. If you own a business or someday your nephew does, Joe, don't wait. Get started saving money and energy today. For energy-saving tips, lighting incentives, or to schedule your free facility assessment, go to ComEd.com/poweringbiz.
Yep. If you own a business, it's a no-brainer. Brandon, our CEO, was here last week. I said, see all the lights in here? Hope you're on the energy efficiency plan. Anyways, is that ComEd.com/poweringbiz?
Yes, that's right. ComEd.com/poweringbiz. B-I-Z.
Schedule that today. Slash.
I will, Joe.
I miss Joey Slash a little bit.
Slash.
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 I kind of miss that.
So proud of Joe.
So am.
So
He was
proud of
ready.
Joe.
Came back stronger. I
Ready
like
to
that.
go today.
Ready on it.
All right, meathead grades, gentlemen.
Let's
For
do
one,
it.
DeMar DeRozan.
All right, one prediction right off the bat. I think that Will's grade and Matt's grade, LY, last year.
That is not correct for me.
Okay,
Oh,
0 for
and
2.
or Will.
Not correct for
All
me
right.
either.
0 for 2. All right?
All right.
That is my guess.
Hey, man, you got to take a swing. I appreciate you swinging, Joe.
Should we start with the simple S?
Okay, let's start with the simple S.
Swimmy, Swami, Sally, Swammy, Samson, Swinson, Swanson,
All right.
Star.
All right.
Saucy, Sexy.
He's taking all the words. I got nothing.
Throw a guess in there, Will.
Superstar.
All these are good.
Superstar.
The word S is for steal.
Steel.
Still. S-T-I.
Oh, still.
Still. He's
And
still DeMar
the
DeRozan.
undisputed DeMar
I was going to
DeRozan.
put still that dude, but I didn't think STD was something I would put up there. So I didn't put up there. So I just went with the S. And I saw that. I'm like, he's still him, dog. He is still DeMar the freaking DeRozan. He still makes you like, damn, when you watch him play. Wow. Oh my God. You know, he still gives all those things out of you every time you see him. And that is what stars actually do for you, man. And having him on the team has been amazing. And he's still who he is. Even though he's getting older, getting long in the tooth, as they say, he's still that guy. You know what I mean? That hasn't changed. You still fear him. You still have to worry about him. You still have to game plan for him. And you still have to shut him down to have yourself a chance at winning. You have to do that. And that's what makes him great, man. He has been phenomenal and awesome for the Chicago Bulls. 2 of his best seasons ever in the NBA happened here in Chicago, man. So shout out to
I mean, he
DeMar
made
DeRozan.
All NBA second team last
Come
year.
on, dog. Shout out
All-Star again
for
this
just
year.
still being that dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for that.
Very simple. Very well put.
Can't argue with a word of that.
All right, we got a couple of LYs. I have no idea.
I don't know what goes on
What
right
your
here.
mine's pretty simple.
Live
Not last year.
live your
Live your best time tomorrow.
Oh, you're guessing mine?
Yes.
Live
Night.
your best time tomorrow. Yeah, that
Oh,
was
wait,
it.
hold on. Will, I might know yours.
Okay.
like
Uh,
your family.
Love you, but something. Love you, but time to move on.
Yes, that's perfect. Come on,
Ding,
Matthew.
ding, ding.
Let's play
Boom.
the game.
Boom.
Let me.
I like to solve the puzzle.
Let me preface this by saying
Jesus.
I really leaned into the meathead aspect of this meathead grade.
As you
That
should.
makes me smile.
Always.
DeMar has been everything that you said so eloquently.
Thank you.
He has been sensational. He has been a star. He has been a superstar. To throw some more S words at you. But and we love him for that. He has had such a big impact, obviously, on the court. These 2 years, he has been the rising tide. He has been amazing with the young guys in the locker room, helping them develop,
Yes.
taking them to camp, 5 a.m., get up early, Patrick Williams, work on your little post fadeaways with me. But and we love him for that.
Yes.
But it's time to move on. The Bulls, as I've said many times, they need to seriously consider a total rebuild and tear down. This is there. If they don't move him this summer, they will end up in the same position that they're presently in with Vooch, which is a bad place to be, where you have to extend a 35-year-old or risk losing him for nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't want the DeMar era to end this way. because he has been so great and what he's done for the Bulls has been so valuable and important. But if the Bulls are taking their future seriously, I think you have to consider moving on.
Yep.
Harsh realities are true, though, man.
That's
That's
the same reason that my meathead grade was
Love you
simply
forever.
Love you forever.
Love you forever.
I got there too, Dave.
Love you forever. I don't know if DeMar's going to be back next season for that final year of his deal. If he's not, it will be sad.
Yeah.
It will be a sad thing for me to make peace with because of everything he's meant to bringing respectability, likability back to this organization that had
they were
none.
a dumpster fire for years.
That had none. Thanks, John. Thanks, Gar. Had none. Thanks, bald-headed menace. Had none. I repeat, none.
Oh, Lord.
No credibility, no respectability, no likability.
Here we go.
DeMar DeRozan showed up and solved so much of that just by being his lovable self while also dominant on the floor.
Monster.
And for that, I will love him always.
Yeah.
It might be time to move on. Real quick, to that end.
Sounded like you got choked up for a second.
No,
Might be time to move on.
just talking on the real.
Not talking about Joe King.
28. Careful. $28.6 million
Go get choked
on DeMar's third and final year of his contract next season.
Yeah.
With a veteran his age, with 1 year left. We're not talking about a Zach LaVine player in his prime, all-star caliber player in his prime,
Yeah.
with many years on current deal left, trade haul of maybe 3 or 4 first-round picks or 2 or 3 picks and a couple of young players. But they can still get something for him if they decide to field offers. What do you guys think the ballpark of a fair return for 1 year left on the deal, age 34 season DeMar could bring?
So I'm seeing Old Buckness's comment here. The trade value isn't getting any higher. And I think that's a really good point and something that I should have tacked on to my meathead grade, which is like the downside of just moving on to move on is a loss of value. And I think at a certain point, Matt, to get to the answer of your question is, at what point does the value that you would get in return for him outweigh the value of just keeping him?
Just keeping him, yeah.
And are we already at that point? Is there still value out there on the market that you can get for him? Are there teams that are going to give you a young player, a draft pick, and some salary filler that actually helps reset and recharge this group? Otherwise, like, what's the point of trading him? You just do it to do it. I mean, there's an argument to be made that that's kind of what you need to do, that there's sort of going to be an addition by subtraction with creating more opportunity for some of the younger players. But I think, as is true with all of these moves, everything I've talked about here is under the pretense that value comes first.
Yeah.
And I feel like we need to continue to preach that, because there's no point in just giving any of these guys away.
Yeah. Like, I think you can walk away with something nice, to answer your question. Something nice. Draft picks, yep. I think wrong way with a player, yep. Young player, yep. Because it depends on the team you're taking this to. Because obviously, I think if you're going to make this trade, it's to a team that's actually trying to, or has bigger aspirations of winning, or better chances, I should say, of winning. Because DeMar DeRozan is not just going to go to any team. You wouldn't do him like that. You would actually send him to a team that's ready to make a move now. He deserves that. And, yeah, if you're going to do that, then you're going to have to get something nice in return, because, again, this is still DeMar DeRozan. I don't care that he's 35 years old. They said that when he came here, that he was too old. He had the best year of his career. So I ain't hearing that no more. So he's still who he is. So I think he can still bring that kind of value. I think Will is dead on and everything that you're saying. And, yeah, you've got to make that move. I do think if you're going to trade someone and get the most value back, it's going to be him. And the way they set up his contract is to put them in this kind of situation like this. Like, okay, last year it didn't work out, whatever. They can bring him back, sure. They got a chance to do that. But they also have a great chance of getting something for him and moving forward that way. So they got options how they want to do it with DeMar, but I do think it might be time to move on.
DeMond said in the comments, Chicago fans hold on to their sports stars too long. It's funny because I can also think of a million times Chicago sports fans have said to me, us, whoever, Chicago, they just gave up on this guy too quickly. Fucking hilarious. But I'm fascinated to see what happens with DeMar this offseason. If they get an intriguing offer that has some sort of draft capital and or young talent in it, I think they seriously need to consider it. Yeah. And even not just consider it, but pull the trigger. Because as much as I love DeMar and what he's done for this organization, I don't want to face watching this same thing again next year. I really don't. And that would be a part of bringing DeMar back. Would be that.
Unless you give me a point guard.
Okay. That's it for today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will continue going on with these player evaluations through this week into next week. And talking about anything else going on, NBA playoffs, NBA news, draft lottery. Just, a week and change away?
Go Holiday.
Woo-woo!
Let's do it.
In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter, CHGO_Bulls. Our pal and producer, Joey Spathis, is at Joey Spathis.
Joey 1K.
He was Joey Ready today.
Oh, Joey Ready.
Joey Ready.
Oh,
Will is at Will_Gottlieb. Read everything he's writing at allchgo.com. Big Dave is at BAWL Sports on Bulls_Peck. We are back tomorrow. Same time, same place, 4 p.m. Central Time. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. CHGO Bulls Podcast from DraftKings Sportsbook. Make some bets for the playoff action tonight. Talk to you tomorrow. See Red be good.
Love you, DeMar. Peace.